Sharoba, because relationships matter.
Welcome to Sharoba.com. Today we're doing a roundtable discussion on issues that people have written in about and videoed in about. So I'm going to pass it over to Jahan. He's going to talk to us about Kevin.
Thank you very much, Carly. Kevin, he hates his mom. Kevin writes, "My mom is negative and my dad is out to lunch. She is abusive and blames her behavior on us. This has been the case all my life. I had major heart surgery and she did not even care enough to come and support me. Ooh. None of my brothers or I have ever been married because we don't want to repeat how we saw our parents living. I have had a lot of therapy, in an attempt to recover from the damage caused by a lifetime of abuse and neglect. I want to be happily married one day and possibly have a family that I won't damage. What are your suggestions? What should I do?" Any ideas?
Well, I think that you can't really say, I'll never be like my parents. It's just, I think you should just, tell yourself that I will never, repeat the same steps that my parents, did. Because, to me, I love my parents no matter. You just gotta, that's just my thing is, you gotta love your parents no matter what, you know what I'm saying? And it's, yeah, she was abusive and whatnot, and I just truly believe that, you learn from that, and then you move on and whatnot. Hopefully there's some room for that you can kind of hopefully repair the relationship. I don't know how deeply rooted this issue is, but yeah, there's still hope for you, and I just believe that with the right support and surrounding yourself with the right people and family, your brothers, talk to each other and just share the issue.
Kevin, don't cut off your love from everything in this universe because of neglect issues. Don't do that to yourself. You just had heart surgery. You gotta protect your heart and take care of that, and don't prevent someone's lack of love for themselves. Don't let that prevent you from loving yourself and loving your future family and whoever may cross your path. That's a really dangerous way to live, and you don't want to do that.
And I'm a firm believer that you can be different from your parents. My mom, her parents are both, very abusive alcoholics, and she grew up to raise children who have a very healthy relationship with alcohol, and it's not like, and she's completely different from her parents. She was able to rise above the abuse she received and have a fabulous family and raise them with a lot of love. So
she had an example of what not to do.
Yeah, exactly. An example of what she was not going to do. I think that I definitely think that there is hope if you want to have a good, healthy family. I think that that's completely up to you and the person you've become. So.
And if you've become spiteful, or if you realize that that it's your life and you can it's your family and you can be different.
I might take a bit more of a hard-nosed approach here. I think that with some of the tenses, she is abusive and blames us for her behavior. That's very present tense. And if the mother's still in the picture and still being abusive, he needs to remove himself from that situation. And I know it's hard to leave a parent. I know it's hard to let go of that relationship. But I think that unless there's time for him to fully heal without her there's not going to be any hope for a future relationship with them. I also think, and maybe this is going out on a limb here, but I think it's great he's doing therapy. I think he needs to get over that resentment. I think in some ways there's going to be resentment towards women as a whole and not just the mother. And the question of whether or not whatever woman he does end up with would be like his mother. And I think that unless you can resolve that issue, you won't have a good relationship, regardless of how emotionally healthy you feel you are. Yeah. If you can't get over the resentment and the suspicion and the trust issues that you have with women in general, and not just your mother, then
if you're desired to be a positive person and positive in your family and to your wife, that will, if you really want that will outweigh, you don't have to be this way just because your parents were. If you really want to change and you really don't want your family to experience what you experience, that's a great incentive to have a family and say, you know what, I'm going to do it the right way, and my family's going to love me, and they're going to know that I'm going to help them in every single way that I wasn't helped, and just to prove, you know, for so many other reasons. And I think you definitely, if you really, you don't have to be like someone else. You know, you can totally be your own person.
And you need, I think, you know, you also need to let go. You also need to say, you know, it sounds like there's still a lot of blame from him to the mother. And, you know, rightfully so, you know, abuse is never right, is never good, and really has a horrible effect on the upbringing of a child. But you need to let it go. You have to let it go.
Kevin, I think Kevin, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, you've been given a second chance at life, you know what I'm saying? Love all you can love, you know what I'm saying? Love as much as you can. And it's just like you've seen what that cycle brings. Create a new cycle, you know what I'm saying? See what the positive impacts of love and just giving your best and, you know, just having a more positive approach to, you know, to everything. Because obviously, what your mom did, you see what kind of negative effects it had to him. You don't want to continue that curse, that negative cycle. Create a new cycle, you know what I'm saying? And just be as positive and spread as much love and smile more.
See the beautiful person behind the imperfections, and love that person.
Forgive.
How would you solve this problem? Comment with your solutions. Respond with your own videos. Sharoba, because relationships matter.